Pagkatanong ko sa kanya nun, sumigaw siya, tumakbo na siya pababa, so tumakbo na rin ako kasama niya. So, ibig sabihin, nakita niya rin.
Sino ka man, rest in peace.
For a while, kasi nakaganyan lang ako. Tapos, literal, natulog ako buong gabi na yung kumot. Nakaganito yung kumot sa akin. Kasi nagising ako na nakaganito pa din ako noong umaga. So, na-experience ko na mag-work from Parañaque to Makati. And supposedly, 30 minutes lang yun. May skyway na nga din. Halos araw-araw pag umuwi ako. Kasi nakatulala lang ako sa bintana, isip ko, anong ginagawa ko sa buhay ko. No shit. As in talaga, literal, sinusumpa ko yung buhay ko, ba't ko ginagawa ko. Stop basing your decisions on practicality. You can allow yourself to make decisions based on things that you actually like.
What is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Tidal Zone podcast. My name is Kelvin. Mag-isa lang ako today. Iniwan ako ni Nix. Currently, nagbabakasyon sa New York, Canada. Basta malayo. Anyway, enjoy mo yung vacation mo, Nix. Deserve mo naman yan. So, our guest for today, or my guest for today, is none other than someone na super importante sa pag-start namin sa podcast. She was one of the person na tumulong sa amin mag-grow and magsimula talaga from the very beginning. None other than Nika Pehi. Also, he does some content creation and some digital marketing. Plus, marami pa siya iba pang kung anong pinaggagawa sa buhay niya. Nika, I'll let you introduce yourself. Sorry for blabbing a lot.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Quick introduction. So, I'm Nika. Like he said, I was one of the team members who helped with putting up Tidal Zone. I'm really happy about that. And right now, I do a lot of things. I teach English. I do digital marketing. I also do new content. So, you can follow me at Nika Keeps Craving if you're interested in food vlogs and talking head content.
Yeah, sobrang ganda nung ni Nika, yung mga content niya about food. Lagi ko yung pinapanood, especially pag meron siyang bagong content. Kasi nakatulong yun sa amin, personally, ng partner ko. Wala kami makitang makainan, nasa Makati kami, and naalala ko yung pinost ni Nika sa IG. Tapos yun, pinuntahan namin siya. And then super sulit nung experiences sa kinainan namin. Hindi ko lang maalala kung anong restaurant talaga yun. Sorry. And ayoko na rin pangalanan. Baka dagdag promotion sa kanila. Anyway, supposed to be this episode talaga is a Halloween episode, but it's super late night, it's November 12 while we're doing this recording. Kaya we'll talk about a bit na lang nung Halloween and then move on to something else na something valuable naman for everyone. So, Nika mentioned na meron siyang mga pinagdaan ng horror stories when she was young or kung naninirahan pa siya somewhere south sa Philippines. Not super south ng Luzon lang pala, sorry. So, Nika, I'll let you share your story sa mga listeners.
Okay, so since we were talking about those stories, nakita ko kasi yung post nyo, kaya ako nandito. So, nung grade school ako, we lived in Cavite for 6 years. So, hindi naman siya super probinsya. Although, barrio siya sa loob-loob pa ng Tagaytay. So, I was there from half of grade 1 until grade 6. And I think even before, interested na ako sa mga horror stuff. Until now, I like murder mystery, mga serial killer, mga ghost stuff. It's interesting for me. Kahit nakakatakot, it's interesting. So, before, yung mga uso pa is Magandang Gabi Bayan special. Yung mga takutan, diba? I think sobrang sikat na sikat nun. But I never really thought about actually having an experience. So yung first memorable experience, I think that was Christmas party namin, either grade 5 or grade 6. So before, we used to have a van. So parang light pace van. Yeah, and then after no Christmas party, yung mom ko and ako, hinatid namin yung mga classmates ko, lahat pa uwi. Kasi maliit lang naman yung size ng class, we were able to bring my friends home. So, dun sa last na house, yung friend ko na yon from grade school, they lived in the whole building. Sa kanila yun. Nire-rent nila yung buong building. So, sa kanila yung whole space. So, yung moms namin, friends din sila. So, while we were talking, my mom and her were also talking. So, we decided to go to the rooftop. Akit kami sa taas. So, usual, nagkikwentuhan lang. I think we were waiting for the food na maluto. Kasi yung mom niya magaling maluto. So, nasa taas lang kami, nagkikwentuhan. So, yung rooftop nila, yung view nun is Taal Lake. So, kita mo yung buong, yung lake, yung volcano from afar, may mga coconut trees likod. So, ang ganda actually. Pero dumating kami doon gabing-gabi na kasi nga after ng Christmas party. So, nagkwentuhan kami. May parang punching bag sila. So, habang nagkikwentuhan kami, naglalaro lang kami doon sa punching bag. So, while nagkikwentuhan kami, nakaharap ako doon sa side ng lake. So, parang nag-focus yung mata ko sa malayo. Sabi ko, may something. So, hindi ko sure eh. So, tinignan ko talaga. Para sure ako na hindi ako namamalik mata. So, habang nakatingin ako ng matagal, there was a figure, as in hooded figure. Hindi ko makita yung paa. It's more of like an apparition, pero hooded figure na very dark, hindi mo makita yung face. But I'm sure na yung figure niya is very human-like. Nag-floating lang sa tabi ng coconut tree. So ako, nag-freeze ako doon. Sabi ko sa friend ko, nakikita mo ba yung nakikita ko? Kasi baka, nag-evento lang, baka nagmamalik mo lang ako. Pagkatanong ko sa kanya nun, sumigaw siya, tumakbo na siya pababa, so tumakbo na rin ako kasama siya. So ibig sabihin, nakita niya rin. So tumakbo kami, I think that was like the 5th floor, the 6th floor, as in, takbo lang talaga kami. Tapos nag-stay kami dun sa top ng stair kasi finally, nakita na namin yung mga nanay namin sa baba. Tapos, sabi ng mom niya, ano nangyari sa inyo? Ba't parang nakakita kayo ng multo? Tapos nagkatinginan lang kami dalawa. Sabi namin, I think nakakita nga. Tapos yung mom niya natigilan. Tapos biglang, sinabi niya sa mom ko kasi Daisy yung name. Sabi niya, Daisy, may hindi pala ako nakwento. Like, a few days, meron dyan, 3 buildings away, may tumalon, nagpakamatay. I'm like, no. Yeah. As in, so like, and I didn't know about that. Nalaman ko lang nung nangyari na. Nung kinuwento na namin na may nakita kami, sa kanya lang sinabi na may something. Diba? Kasi if sinabi niyo yun before, baka mas na-imagine ko. But like, I didn't know about it. Nalaman ko lang na, may ganong incident after namin makita. So like, creepy. Ayun. So first time ko ever na may anything. Hindi ko sure if, alam mo yun, what that was, but like, sobrang creepy lang nung fact na, may nangyari nga. Na like, related din sa area. So yeah, yun yung first na like, encounter talaga from the province. Lahat ng creepy stuff sa Cavite nangyari. So, yeah.
Pero na-confirm ba na ganun yung suot niya nung tumalon siya? Like naka-hood ba siya?
Hindi ko na tinanong. Actually, hindi ko na din siya gustong malaman. Because I'm like, I think enough na malaman ko na may tumalon doon. But yeah, yun yung first na may solid something. Yeah.
Okay. Ano ba? Parang did it haunt you? Like for how many days or nights after nung pangyayari? Like, siguro, I mean, alam mo yung, di naman yung hunt na minumulto ka, like, naiisip mo siya palagi.
Siguro, a few weeks, gano'n. Naiisip ko lang siya randomly. Pero it's a good thing na medyo malayo. Because if it was closer, scarier, I guess. Yeah. Although meron din akong medyo closer encounter. But yeah, lahat talaga sa Cavite. Never akong naka-experience ng anything sa Manila na as much as that. Yeah.
Nakakatakot naman yun. I think hindi siya nakakatakot kung di mo siya na-confirm eh, no? Kaso kasi may nag-confirm sa'yo na, na may tumalon eh. So, which makes
medyo yun. Parang hindi alam kung siya yun, pero either way, mas naging creepy.
So, nakakatakot nga talaga. Well, anyway, sobrang tagal naman na sana hindi na siya uli nagpapakita doon. Sino ka man, rest in peace.
Yeah. Before kasi, nakatira kami sa house ng lola ko. So, kaya kami pala nag-stay sa Cavite is because yung lola ko noon sa mother side may sakit. So, kami yung family namin yung nag-alaga. So, doon sa house na yun, I think two floors actually. Pero it was a pretty big house. So, doon din, yung likod niya, gubat. So, like, I mean, very proud style. So, siguro, sabihin ko na lang quickly yung na-experience ko dun sa house. Doon muna tayo sa less creepy. So, isang afternoon, nagpainit ako ng tubig kasi meron ka kaming helper na kasama before. So, parang nagpainit ako ng tubig para mag-shower sa hapon. So, yung nangyari doon is nag-aantay ako. Meron parang music room doon na nakahiwalay sa lahat ng parts ng bahay. So, habang nag-aantay ako doon, yung mom ko, alam ko, naliligo sa banyo. So, ako yung sunod dapat. So, habang nag-aantay ako, narinig ko na may umakyat. So sabi ko, okay, turn ko na maligo. Kasi yung magkakasama lang sa house noon, I think, was me, my mom, and alam ko yung nagpainit ng tubig. So yung mom ko, short hair siya, narinig ko na. And also yung hagdan kasi doon is, I can't remember if wooden pero na-remember ko na may carpet and naririnig mo pag may umaakyat. So, okay, nakita ko na may umakyat, bathroom, and short hair. Sabi ko, okay, fine. Time for me to take a shower. Pag punta ko dun sa shower room or dun sa banyo, nakasarado. So, I'm like, okay, may gumagamit na pala. So, hindi pa pala umaalis yung mom ko dun sa banyo. So, I'm like, hindi yung umakyat ng hagdan na maikli yung buhok. Walang ibang maikli yung buhok dito, walang ibang tao sa bahay. So, yan, stuff like that. Pero nothing naman na closer encounter. But I guess, yung pinaka-close na, again, hindi ko alam if this was an apparition or like, paano siya nanggaling. Pero before, I think I kind of had like astigmatism. So sa gabi, parang pag hindi pa ako nakakatulog, it's either kailangan ko munang mumulat for a while or kailangan kong pumikit. Kasi parang kailangan ko i-blink yung mata ko para hindi ko ma-feel yung sakit. So my time before, dun sa isang kwarto ng tita ko, may magkakadikit na isang long bed tapos isang actual bed. Tapos ako, gusto ko kasi ng sarili kong space. So, may parang mattress sa baba doon ako natutulog. So, hindi ako makatulog nung gabi agad. So, parang nakaharap ako sa side na to sa may cabinet. So, parang nag-shift around lang ako sa bed. Tapos, pag mulat ko ng mata ko, may naka ganito sa akin. As in, above my head. As in, may something. As in, for a while, nakaganyan lang ako. Tapos, literal, natulog ako buong gabi na yung kumot, nakaganito yung kumot sa akin. Kasi nagising ako na nakaganito pa din ako nung umaga. Kasi like, may something May something talaga. So, wala naman ako nakita after that, pero sure ako na hindi ko siya na-imagine. Kasi, first of all, hindi ako pwedeng takutin ng kapatid ko kasi mas matatakutin siya sa akin. Hindi niya ako kayang takutin. Medyo mas matangkad and mas malaki sa akin yung kapatid ko. And also, yung mom ko, maikli yung buhok. Hindi naman mag-wig yung nanay ko para lang takutin ako. So, alam mo yun, hindi kami yun. So, literal, yun yung closest encounter na like, this close.
Nandiyan talaga.
Yeah, yun yung nakakatakot talaga. Kasi like, literal, natulog ako buong gabi yung kumot na kaganito sa akin. Kasi, hindi ko alam kung ano yun. Hindi ko gustong malaman kung ano yun. Pero yun yung
pero buti nakatulog ka. Knowing na may ganun.
Nakatulog ako sa takot. Hindi ko lang alam. Nagising na lang ako na nakaganito pa din ako. Yun, hindi ko siya makalimutan. Siyempre, sinabi ko yun. Pero, I mean, I guess, ayaw na nila na like, matakot pa or anything. Pero sure ako na nakita ko yun. Ayun. Yun lang. And lahat yun, Cavite lang talaga. Wala akong ever. Hindi ko alam kung probinsya kung ba yun. But, yeah, yun yung closest experience.
Yeah, I think mas madalas talaga siya sa mga probinsya, no? I'm not sure if Cavite is probinsya pa ba? Parang hirap kasi ng Cavite, parang kalahati city, kalahati probinsya.
Yun nga Kasi parang more of city yung access-wise, pero like yung nature, very, very provincial.
Oh, yeah.
Cross between city side and countryside.
Hindi nyo ba, after nung incident, pina-bless nyo ba yung bahay? Or what? Or may ginawa ba kayo?
Wala naman. Kasi I think like, wala namang encounter na like, nanakit. So I think parang more like, okay lang to. Parang siguro iniisip na lang namin. It's like, siguro nandiyan naman talaga yan. But like, as long as hindi ka nababother or anything, yeah. Kasi before, I have heard stories from other people na actually, like, may ginagalaw nila yung mga utensils. Di naman umabot sa ganun. So, kalimutan na lang. Kasi kung ganun, ibang usapan na yun. Yeah.
Oo, sobra nun. Mga hindi na ako pumasok ng bahay pag ganun.
Lilipat na ako, babalik na akong Maynila.
Yeah. Thank you sa story mo. Grabe, nakakatakot. Parang ayoko na tuloy pumunta ng Cavite. Mura pa naman ang mga bahay sa Cavite ngayon ng mga binibenta. Okay, ako pinakamalapit na wala kasi yung experience talaga na nakakatakot. Pinakamatindi ko na siguro yung sa office namin. Sa gabi na yun Tapos pumunta ako ng CR. Walang tao sa CR. So, walang tao sa CR. Pero pagbukas ko ng cubicle, merong etchas. Hindi, joke lang yun. Hindi, wala talaga ako nakakatakot. Sorry.
Okay. I guess that's a good thing, di ba? Sino ba namang may gustong maka-experience ng totoo na?
Yeah. Totoo. Okay, sige, thank you. Okay, sige, let's move tayo sa ibang topic. What do you think of, phobias? Do you believe na meron tao na may mga phobia ba talaga? And ikaw, ba do you have one?
Ako, hindi naman extreme na phobia. May konting, actually, I guess, hindi naman extreme. Kasi parang may mga tao na hydrophobic na ayaw talaga nila na mabasa or anything. Ako more of, I think, may psychological fear ako na malunod. So, hindi ko alam kung hydrophobia pa rin ba yung tawag doon. Pero, yun, na-realize ko na psychological fear siya. Kasi, so, nung nasa high school ako, nag-skip ako ng swimming lessons. Kasi nga, ayoko nung feeling na nasa ilalim ng tubig, ayoko yung, basta may underlying fear na, baka malunod ako or anything. So, sinabi ko na allergic ako sa chlorine para mag-swimming lessons. Pero yun, na-realize ko ngayon na more of life skill siya. Ayun. So, I think a bit of hydrophobia kasi na-realize ko, kaya ko naman palang maglangoy pag may kasama ako. Kung nasa Siargao ako, nakapaglangoy ako ng malalim nung may tour guide kami na kasama. Pero the moment na wala, kasi nagpapanik talaga ako. So, I think that will count as a phobia. And also, nakalimutan ko yung tawag sa phobia sa insects, but I hate insects. But I think a lot of us hate insects.
I think, lahat naman. Pero hindi yung extreme siguro.
Ayun. I think more opinion sa akin. Ikaw, what do you say?
I wouldn't say extreme din, pero takot ako sa sa heights. Pag yung sobrang taas na and yung wala halos parang harang na safety. Hindi yung parang alam mo yung mga overpass, like sa Kamuning, yung sobrang taas na overpass doon. Hindi ako natatakot sa ganun kasi alam ko parang safe siya. Pero may mga tao na takot sa ganun. Like mom ko, takot na takot. Like yung overpass lang sa SM Santa Mesa papuntang Mesa Residences. Takot na siya doon So, I think may takot ako sa heights pero not too much. Ang pinakamatinding na experience kong takot is similar sa water din. I was in Palawan. One was in Palawan and the other one was in Batangas. Sa Batangas, merong doon I forgot the name of the resort pero para siyang Santorini, Greece yung style. Ganun yung kulay Parang may pool sila na sobrang lalim. May part doon na sobrang lalim na pagka pumunta ka ron, like sumisid ka like kahit mga 5 feet, 4 feet lang, parang darkness na may makikita mo agad. So, nung tinaray ko yun, sobrang natakot talaga ako. Like, feeling ko, merong kukuha sa akin na either creature or tao or ewan ko. So, yun yung takot. Biglang ahon agad talaga ako. Balik ako ron sa mababaw And then, the other time naman was sa Palawan. Merong mga activity kasi sa Palawan. I'm not sure if na-try mo na. Merong mga activity doon, di ba, na magpupunta-punta kayo sa mga isla-isla. Then, hahayaan lang naman kayo nung guide na maglangoy-langoy. Merong part doon na mababaw lang. Kasi parang sightseeing siya ng mga corals. So, langoy-langoy lang ako doon. Then, biglang siya, yung biglang baba ng ganun. Like, as in, sobrang baba talaga. Yung pagkaka-incline niya. Like ganun din, darkness na rin yung makikita mo, wala ka nang makikitang iba. Bigla ako natakot. Parang inisip ko may shark ba doon or kraken or kung anong malaking creature na baka biglang kumuha sa akin. So, ayun, I think ayun yung phobia ko na medyo malala. I'm not sure anong tawag pero may tawag doon yung parang yung takot sa malalalim na bagay or sa underwater thing.
So, hindi ko alam kung under hydrophobia pa rin siya kasi very similar doon It's either takot akong malunod or takot ako sa nasa ilalim ng tubig. More of the tubig. So, pero hindi ko sure if under hydrophobia pa rin siya.
I think not. Kasi alam ko may specific term. I'm not sure lang anong tawag. Pero nakita ko siya sa TikTok. Ewan ko, yung algo ko sa TikTok, puro ganun yung nilalabas. Yung mga phobia test. May level 1, level 2, level 3. Mga ganun pinapakita sa akin. Yeah, anyway, let's move on to something na valuable sa lahat naman. Ano pa rin siya? Part ng fear. Kasi given this day and age, nasa technology or digital age na tayo ng buhay natin, no? Like everything can be done in your cellphone, your computer, or maybe pwede kang makakapag-accomplish ng trabaho kahit nasa bahay ka lang or nasa malayo ka, nasa dagat ka nagbabakasyon. There are a lot of people or company na nagwo-work pa rin sila sa office. And there are a lot of employees na galit na ba't kailangan pa nilang magtrabaho sa office. Yung trabaho naman nila kaya nilang gawin sa bahay. Kasi one issue is yung transpo natin sa Pilipinas. Di naman sikreto na pangit talaga ng transpo natin. Like, punta ka lang ng Makati to Manila, abutin ka ng 3 to 5 hours balikan, no? Papasok, papunta. So, parang 5-6 hours na agad yung ubos sa buhay mo nun, sa araw mo, imbis na nagamit mo sa ibang bagay, no? So, ang solusyon doon na nakikita ko talaga is maghanap ka ng work na merong flexibility or availability na mag-work ka remote. And most of these are freelancing jobs, di ba? If I'm not mistaken, freelancing job, mga VA, ganyan. Gusto ko matanong kasi I know you have experiences with a lot of jobs na hindi required like not corporate, di fix na 9 to 5, go to work sa office. You've been working sa bahay lang or anywhere and super flexible. Ano yung nag-udyok sa'yo to transition to that type of work and lifestyle or kung ano man tawag sa ganyan, sorry, na baka makatulong sa mga tao kasi alam ko ang humahad lang sa kanila is yung takot eh. Like, what if hindi ako makakuha ng work? Like, what if mababa yung sahod kung mag-freelance ako, yung ganyan. Kasi ang iniingatan naman talaga nila is yung stability sa current work nila ngayon na record sila magpunta na sa office. Kaso yun nga, ang downside is sobrang kain sa gasto sa pera, transpo, and yung oras. What are your thoughts sa mga taong takot mag-transition sa pag-freelance or probably doing VAs? Like yun naman yung common term ngayon, VAs.
Mag-react muna ako dun sa pag-commute kasi I think napag-usapan natin to na is talaga sa mga sinumukha ko. Yeah, kasi right now, temporarily, nasa Parañaque kami. So, na-experience ko na mag-work from Parañaque to Makati. And supposedly, 30 minutes lang yun. May Skyway na nga, di ba? Pero syempre, yung regular working hours, rush hour yan. Bikutan area pa ako ngayon. So, literal traffic tong Doña Soledad lagi. So, imagine mo, hindi ako yung person, gigising ako ng maaga. After ko gumising ng maaga mag-prepare, pipila pa ako. After nung pila, may biyahe pa. Tapos mas malala pa yung pagpa-uwi kasi yung pila ng shuttle, ang lala talaga. So, literal, halos araw-araw pag umuwi ako, as in, nakatulala lang ako sa bintana, isip ko, anong ginagawa ko sa buhay ko? No shit. As in, talaga, literal, sinusumpa ko yung buhay ko, ba't ko ginagawa ko? Ayun, pero before noon, nagkaroon ako ng experience sa freelancing. Di ko alam kung kilala mo si John Pagulayan. So, sa Tribe, kilala din siya. So, yeah. He was one of the reasons kaya ako like nag-try din talaga na parang okay, may ibang options to try. So kaya ako nakapag-network doon, sobrang active ko sa mga in-person events, tas word of mouth lang, more of doon ako nag-start with copywriting. So yun, parang I really wanted to try something new outside of my comfort zone. So yun yung first na reason. Although, when it comes to the fear of like transitioning, I would not recommend people to immediately jump. It's either kailangan may ipon ka muna, wala kang binubuhay na pamilya o anak. Kung ikaw lang yan, okay lang. But like you, I think there has to be a bit of a plan. Kung ikaw lang, risks are okay. But if like breadwinner ka o may binubuhay kang pamilya, I would not recommend jump, mag-resign ka. I think the practical way to go about it is you can keep the job and you can start taking projects on the side. So for some people, online job sites sila like OLJ, hindi ko na sure kung ano pa yung ibang platform, but I think some people do the third-party sites, may ibang nag-agency. So they can research that online. There's a lot of options now. May mga courses din. But for me, yung ginawa ko naman is yun very different. Parang nag-start ako with networking. With actual people, business people. Kaya ako din ako na si Nix dahil dyan. Parang umattend ako ng isang content writing workshop niya before. So yun, that's one option. Networking with people. And yun, the other one is taking courses and going through online job sites. Parang hindi sila transition agad. Parang slow transition. You can do both. Yeah. And also, pwede naman hindi ka mag full-time freelance. Pwede din na it's actually a company pero remote work. And I think that's also like a good option. Yun. So, the flexibility nga. For me, very, very big on flexibility talaga ako. As much as possible, if I can choose my schedule or choose my time, I would go for that.
That's nice. That's nice advice. Yeah, tama naman na huwag ka basta-bastang padalos-dalos na mag-transition. Pinakamahalaga, tama yun. Meron ka munang savings or ipon kasi baka mamaya matenga ka, mahirapan ka maghanap no? Saan ka, lalo na breadwinner ka, no? Saan ka kukuha ng pambili mo? I have another question regarding sa freelancing. Hindi kasi ako super familiar sa sa environment or sa pag-freelance. Ever since fixed na tao ako, though flexible yung mga schedule, pero fixed talaga ako nag-work sa company. Do you think ba na nagiging oversaturated na yung freelancing world dito sa Pilipinas? Like, I see some people sa TikTok kasi nagrereklamo na sila na wala na raw sila makuha ang client na maganda yung bayad. Kasi ang pinipili na daw ng mga client ngayon is yung mga bago na walang experience kasi mas mura yung binabayad nila. Pero yung quality is not the same as yung mga seasoned veterans or yung mga experience na when it comes to freelancing. So, what's your thought on that lang?
I think with anything, it's more of like how you market yourself. Kasi, alam mo yun, parang kumbaga sa mga nagbubukas ng tindahan, di ba? Kung yung logic mo is, meron na namang nagbebenta ng ganito, hindi na ako magbebenta ng ganito. Pero, maraming magkakaparehong businesses, maraming magkakaparehong tindahan. But like, you have to find a way, like, how can I stand out? What can I offer differently? What can I do differently? So I think one thing then nakasama doon is like, how do you market yourself? That's one thing. If you're not gonna work for a company, kasi iba yung, you're working for a company remotely, that's remote work. Hindi yun freelancing. Magkaiba yung remote work and like, alam mo yun, actually marketing yourself. Kasi right now, I also teach English. Isa sa mga ginagawa ko yun, remote work yun. I don't have to market myself. I already have like students that I can teach. And I can choose my schedule for that. Pero if you are going to be a freelancer na may mga direct client ka, na hindi ka under an agency or like under like an online job site, you have to market yourself. And those are all choices that you can make. And also, I think, ang dami-daming tao sa mundo. Like, literal, kung hindi Pilipino yung kliyente mo, pwedeng Australian, British, ang daming nationalities. So, I think it's more of like, you have to learn the process and you have to learn to market yourself. Because if you can sell yourself, you can sell yourself services, then hindi ka mauubusan ng kliyente. So, I think it's not about, yes, in some ways, may saturation kasi mas marami ng awareness about it. But, yun, if you can be in a community where you can be guided, like how to market yourself or where to find your clients, then I think hindi pa siya 100% saturated. Yeah.
Okay, that's nice. Thanks for sharing. Advice ko lang rin, no, if you want to switch to freelancing, pinakamaganda mong gagawin is mag-invest sa sarili mo, no? Kasi yun yung magiging yung puhunan mo. Kung maaari, gumastos ka, no? Take ka ng mga course, meron naman yan online, or sila next nagbibigay ng mga course, pasok ka lang dyan sa mga ganyan. So yeah, ayun. Most likely matutulungan ka nun mag-succeed kasi sarili mo yun eh. Like, ikaw rin yung kikilos, ikaw yung magtatrabaho, ikaw yung mag-iisip. So why not mag-invest ka sa sarili mo, hindi sa mga iba't ibang bagay. Kaya yun. And yeah, tama yung sinabi mo, learn to market yourself. No? Kasi yun, binibenta mo nga yung sarili mo, sa service mo. So maganda, matuto ka mag-market ng sarili mo. I think yun, wala na akong iba pang tanong. Do you want to share anything else ba about sa mga napag-usapan natin?
Siguro I think like you have to know then what you want. Kasi ayun nga, parang sabi mo, if like, maybe people want to have like a stable schedule because some people want that. Na alam mo yun, 8 to 5, 9 to 5. And meron din na, ako kasi like, inisip ko din yun paano kung like mag-regular schedule ako? I think if I would go back to a regular schedule, siguro mag-Australian client ako. Kasi I can start early and finish early, marami pa akong pwedeng gawin. Kasi may mga routine din ako na sinusunod eh. So, yun, I think, wala namang like one way or tamang way to do something. So, if you want more structure, you can work under like an agency or like under a regular client na may regular schedule. If you want more flexibility, then you can do like projects lang on the side or like part-time work. So I think there's a lot to explore. And also, as much as possible, choose ka ng niche or choose ka ng like job that you're actually interested in. Kasi for me, like copywriting, I know how to write, pero na-realize ko, I don't want to write anymore. Kaya now, I'm transitioning to like video content. It's what I want. Parang mas gusto ko pala na, ako yung nasa harap ng camera. I'm the one making the content rather the one being on the sidelines, helping people to make it. I mean, there's fun in that, pero I think I feel like better na ko na yung face nung content na ginagawa ko. So, yeah. And also, yun, parang ngayon, so isa pa sa ginagawa ko, I'm also working part-time for an art studio. So, ngayon lang ulit ako nag-physical job because I like it. Yun kasi yung sinabi ko, I will only take a job that will require me to be there physically if it's related to my interest, which is either travel, food, language, or art. So, nag-fall siya under sa last one. Yun yung pinramas ko sa sarili ko. If hindi ako interesado din, hindi ako physically gonna be there. So, yun, I think you have to know what you want and don't want first before you do something. Yeah.
Nice, tama. Gandang advice. Sabi nga nila, di ba, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. Ewan ko, mag-a-agree ka doon, pero ako hindi. Gusto ko naman ginagawa ko, pero pagod pa din ako.
Partly true. Kasi I think for me, like kunyari, like with the art job, I like the fact that I'm doing this part-time. I don't think that I can do it full-time kasi nga I want to do so many other things. Ayun nga, I want to do the content stuff. Marami pa akong ibang ginagawa. So I'm happy that I'm not doing it full-time for now. Yeah. So I partly agree with that.
Same.
Trabaho is trabaho pa rin.
Totoo. Kaya nga tinawag siyang work talaga eh. Ganun talaga. Okay. Anyway, last question na bibigay ko sa'yo. If you would be able to meet your 15-year-old self, anong advice? One advice na ibibigay mo sa 15-year-old na Nika?
Hirap ng one advice. Pero siguro,
or yeah, anything you want to say na lang sa 15-year-old self mo?
Siguro one thing is stop basing your decisions on practicality. Kasi parang ang dami kong ginawang bagay, okay, practical. Kasi I was supposed to, I was thinking of actually taking an art course. Kasi that's what a lot of my friends know me for, that I do art. But yung course ko sobrang layo. Hindi ako nag-art course. Yung course naman na kinuha ko, never ako nagkaroon ng trabaho related to that. So if I could go back, I would choose one of those things related to language, travel, food, or art as a course. Para at least nagkaroon na ako ng background as early of actually pursuing something because I love it, not because of money. Kasi in any field naman, you're gonna earn it. But it helps if you're actually interested in it. But also, there's a dilemma na, okay, pag yung bagay na gusto mo, ginawa mong trabaho, you're gonna hate it. So, may dilemma din yun. But yeah, for me, I think I can tell my younger self na not to always base on practicality. You can allow yourself to make decisions based on things that you actually like.
Oh, nice message. Okay. Thanks, Nika. And I think that is it. Anything you want to promote? Yung mga page mo and your art studio. Yeah. I've been saying it's Facebook a lot.
Yeah. So first is yun nga, I'm making video content. So ang dami ko lang ginagawa recently, but yun, I'm planning to put out more talking heads about different topics. Also going to continue with the food blogs. And maybe by the end of the year, I will be recording na rin at a studio for the Talking Heads. Hindi ko pa sure if it will eventually become a podcast, but yeah, the Talking Heads will definitely continue. And for the art studio, if you guys are in Makati or pwede kayong madayo ng Makati, visit Art Buds, Caravan Plaza, Chino Roses. Hope we can see you there.
Okay, sige, lagay natin yung mga link dyan sa description na lang. Okay. Okay, thanks, Nika. I think that's it. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on TikTok and Facebook. So, yeah. Thank you and have a good night, good morning kung saan ka nakikinig. Bye!